In contrast to the good exhaustion language is the quote-unquote decent, what I think of as the decent policy language. Whereas the good language unambiguously allows a policyholder to trigger their excess insurance by exhausting underlying limits through payments by the insurer, the insured, or anyone else. The decent language is more of a middle road. And this decent policy language arguably leaves things open to interpretation. There are cases interpreting and applying the decent policy language, and they go both ways. There's a very critical, important pro-policyholder case, recent case out of the Eastern District of Virginia, Maximus versus Twin City Fire Insurance Company, that interpreted and applied this middle of the road, the decent policy language, in the policyholder's favor, and held that that the policyholder in fact could access its excess insurance even though it settled for less than policy limits with its underlying insurers. In that case, the policyholder had a large claim, settled with both its primary, first, and second excess layer insurers, and at each stage settled for a little less than policy limits, filled the gap, and went on to the next policy. When it got to its third excess policy, the insurer said, hold on a second, our policy requires you to exhaust underlying insurance through payment of covered claims by the insurer only. Because you filled the gap, our policy isn't triggered and we don't owe you any coverage. And the court disagreed. The court said that the language was not as clear as the insurer argued, and that it was open to interpretation as to whether or not it did require payment by the insurer only, or if it allowed for filling the gap. And as a result, the policyholder was allowed to fill the gap. But in contrast, there are a few cases in other jurisdictions that go the other way. So when you have this, what we refer to as the decent policy language, you can be assured that you're in for a fight with your excess insurers. And because you're going to be in a fight with your excess insurers on this issue, it's critical to engage coverage counsel so that you know how to use the law in your favor. And that you know, number one, that there's going to be an issue with your excess carriers. Because when you go to settle a large claim that's going to implicate multiple layers of insurance, what you need to do in the first instance is take a look at those excess policies and know whether or not you're going to have this issue. And that if you're going to run into language that falls into this middle category, and you know that you're going to be in a fight with those excess insurers. And so that it's very important to engage coverage counsel like Miller Friel to conduct that analysis and evaluation.